And we're live. It's midday, just gone. 1 minute past midday. Apologies for my tardiness. It's the midday. It's the 1 minute past midday show, and I'm Neil Long. And I put out a message on Lightbulb this morning. We had an understandable dropout for a guest today, so I popped on Lightbulb, which is a brilliant place. It's where journalists go looking for people to interview, and people that want to be interviewed go looking for journalists. It's a really nice little place run by a lovely lady called Charlotte Crisp. Shout out Charlotte. And we had some responses. So let's bring our first guest on and find out all about the cut of their jib. Emma Bailin. Hello.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's really lovely to have you. First of all, I do all my social media on the fly. What's your website address so I can pop it on the screen?
Just simply www.sharedharmonies.co.uk.
sharedharmonies.co.uk. And do we call you Em or Emma?
Either. Usually Emma, and M to people that know me well and my friends. So please feel free to call me either.
Okay. I'm gonna put Emma. Not that I don't want to be your friend, but not everyone here knows you well. So, oh, wrong one. There we go. sharedharmonies.co.uk. Now, I love the concept of what you do.
Thank you.
I've read a little bit about it, and I'm thinking, oh, yes, I like the sound of this. So, the forum's yours. What brings you to the Midday Show today? What have you got to share with us?
So I'm here to share about Shared Harmonies. We are a community interest company, which is a not-for-profit that I founded about 12 and a half years ago. The concept was about bringing people together in a transformational way that enables people to build more confidence and make connections with other people and to improve their well-being. And so we've got kind of two sides to the business. We take services into corporates, into big companies, and we work with them in an experiential way through a workshop to explore things like leadership practice, working together better within teams, or working together better as teams within an organization, or helping them to change their mindset and overcome limiting beliefs. And we do all that by guiding them through a shared singing experience, and then use that experience to reflect on the theme and help them identify things that they want to change in their practice to achieve better outcomes.
Because I've always got the corporate world framed in my mind as crusty and a bit stuck in its ways. How does that meet the arts, if you like, and singing and harmony? I mean, and what was the reaction first like when you put this sort of out there on the market? Did it take a bit of I'm not saying it doesn't work, quite the opposite. I'm intrigued for why it does, and we'll deep dive into that. But I imagine you were met with, I don't know, what was the initial reaction to the concept?
I mean, I still do. I still literally get people who talk to me and are saying things like, we've got a real issue with this, or we really want to develop our leadership and conventional training isn't working, or we've got particularly since the pandemic, there are issues, with a lot of people remote working and not talking to each other as much in the business, and relationships breaking down.
We've become more connected, but ironically even more separated, haven't
Absolutely. And yet, as soon as I say I have a really unique way of doing that and we get really good results, as soon as I mention the word singing, people shut down. But why it works so well is because we literally get people to experience something first, to feel something, to feel a little bit uncomfortable, to feel a little bit out of their comfort zone.
And then most
we
people, and certainly people in the corporate world, they're kind of the brains on sticks, aren't they? The idea of feeling something or being in the body rather than in the mind.
Absolutely.
Do you know Meg Whittaker Galt, by the way?
I do. She
haven't seen that name on the timeline before, so I guess she's a friend of yours. Hello, Meg. How are you? Thank you very much. So where was I? Yeah, heads on sticks, and once they've relaxed into it and they do it, what's the results? And then do the testimonials read things like, I never thought this would work, but was I wrong? That kind of thing. Good.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, time and time again. And it's often the ones that think that it's the maddest thing they've ever seen, that when we start off and are most uncomfortable, who get the biggest transition. So, you know, one of my favorite quotes was from a leader at a university in Manchester, because mostly people don't know we're going to sing. You know, they think they're coming to a leadership workshop, and then I say, by the way, we're going to sing together now, and I get obviously a very strong reaction. But I guide them through an experience and then kind of get them to reflect and say, okay, so who was out of their comfort zone when I said we were going to sing? What did you see me demonstrate as a leader that enabled you to feel that fear and stay there and participate anyway? And then we go into much more depth about leadership and their experience of leadership and their experience of leading through fear and challenge. And
what do they see in you which they can emulate as a leader, which you'd
so
express through?
Yeah, things like taking people out of their comfort zone, but not into fear and panic. So breaking things down into smaller, manageable sections of stretch, positive affirmation, leading by example, helping people see the bigger picture and how they as individuals connect within teams and how the teams connect to a bigger vision. And then we get people saying things like, you know, one guy said, I came from private business and I've now gone into the public sector. And he said, I thought they were a bit bonkers in the way they did stuff. And when I heard singing, I thought they've lost it completely. But that has to be the best leadership workshop I've done in my 25 years of practice. Great. And we get people saying, you know, tomorrow I'm going to take time out to stand back and listen to the harmony. We get people saying, I'm going to help people see how they connect into the bigger picture. People saying that
it's metaphorical as well as literal, isn't it? Because
it absolutely is.
An organisation that works in harmony is a good organisation.
Absolutely.
It's the complete opposite of gossiping around the water cooler about how much you hate what the boss did today. That's not a harmonious situation. Lots of different personalities, lots of different skills, all working together in a harmonious whole. Yeah. And then, of course, the whole becomes greater than
exactly that.
Altogether
exactly
now.
that.
You know, the sum of its parts. And I get that. And also, of course, singing, the literal sense, harmony, and also singing can be very healing as well, if I can use that word.
Absolutely. I mean, I've always sung. I was really lucky. A teacher told me that he thought I could sing when I was really little, and I believed him, and it's been a big part of my life. But I never realized why I loved it so much until I was setting up the company and I looked into the research. And I call it now like the best free wonder drug that we can engage in. You know, it releases all 4 happiness hormones. It reduces the amount of cortisol in the body. It helps regulate our breathing, which gives us better clarity of mental capacity and feel more relaxed and have more energy.
Because you're going into parasympathetic nervous system.
Exactly that.
And that's where all the healing happens. There's an insight actually, which you may or may not know. I'll share it from the world of DJing and happiness hormones. I'll tell you in a minute. Do you know Alice Lyons?
I do.
Okay, well, we got some love from her. Em is an incredible facilitator, gently encouraging people out of their comfort zone, an incredible experience to feel in a group. So powerful for connecting people who might not usually harmonise. Nice.
Thanks, Alice.
Yeah, you're getting a nice little following on the Midday Show today. This is very nice. Now, where's I going to go next? So, I had a wonderful question. I had a wonderful question in my head, and then I got distracted. My own fault. Reading Alice's comment. DJ Insight Harmony. Oh, anyway, we'll come back to it. That was it. Yeah. So I think what you're doing also, you're bringing an awful lot, because business will work purely on the logical mind alone, and that is just a necessary aspect of our brain, if you like, but not the only one. And I think Einstein said we've made it the master when it should be the servant.
Yeah.
But what you're doing with feeling and music and tone and harmony, you're bringing an awful lot more of the potential human online, I would have thought.
Exactly that. So I
Dare
once
I
read
say, edging towards flow states.
Yeah. Yeah. So I once read a beautiful description that said, the if you think of the brain like a computer, the right side of the brain is the bit that does all the work, but it needs the left creative side of the brain to power it. Like that's like the battery. And often, as you say, in business, we're very in the right side of the brain. We're very much kind of thinking cognitively, but we lose then that potential to take risks or to have that kind of human aspect or to think imaginatively and
Well, that's the
creatively. And
thing. I mean, it's all about reasonable risks,
yeah,
isn't it? But no one's talking about stupid risks. But I did read some research. You're familiar with the term of flow state, obviously.
yeah,
Yeah, of course. Stephen Kotler's done quite a lot of work into that. Have you seen any of his work? His YouTube
no,
talks, really fascinating. He studied flow from, of all things, the science of extreme sports,
okay,
where you really do have to be present and no distractions. You really do have to be in the moment if you're climbing a 300-foot rock ice face with no safety gear. You've really got to be in the moment. And he was studying flow states from that, and from that an awful lot of data came out, and he crunched it all together. Really fascinating read, actually. And he crunched it all together, but you only need a 3% risk
wow,
to get into only three. So you don't have to climb an extreme ice face. You don't have to juggle chainsaws. Maybe just standing up in front of a group and singing, or
yeah,
even public speaking, is enough. But the thing is, I think in some work, when they've always done it a particular way, and it's all very
yeah,
left brain, it's all very formulaic, and that's it. It's kind of it's right inside that box, and sometimes it never leaves. And the
yeah.
danger is there. It just gets a bit crusty eventually.
Absolutely. So
And
Brené
it's
Brown is
fresh.
another person that I love, and she talks about that
Who?
as
Sorry.
humans.
Who? Sorry.
Brené Brown,
Oh,
um,
Brené Brown.
yeah, and
She's
she
a
talks
ledge.
about
Brené Brown's a ledge.
absolutely, and she talks about if we humans are designed for growth, and if we stay still, we're actually going backwards, and so we need to take those opportunities to step out of our comfort zone, to feel that fear, but in a framework that doesn't take us into panic, because then we go into freeze. So our sessions are really designed to create psychological safety, to gently explore that, as you say, that small percentage of risk in which we learn and develop and grow, and then we have the capacity then to implement those new ideas.
If you want a much harsher learning curve, try stand-up comedy.
That, I keep thinking about that, because that's one of the things that I know would step me out of my comfort zone, and I like to try and practice what I preach.
Where are you based? Where are you based?
In West Yorkshire.
Because I run comedy clubs. Had you been in London, I might have invited you to do a cheeky 5 minutes.
Next time I come down, I'll get in touch.
Do, do. No, seriously, do. Because I think the audience would enjoy that. So this is not a comedian per se, but let me just explain the story anyway. Yeah, why not? Well, you know where to find me now. An insight from the world of DJing, talking about flow states and that. The beats per minute, 128 BPM, is, you see all these pictures of raves and the DJ's like the god doing this and the crowd
Yeah,
are just one with him. It's just this most wonderful harmony, if you like. And the reason is, okay, some of them are probably taking drugs. We'll leave that bit out. But it is possible to get this drug free. Because everyone's in flow, because 128 beats per minute is where the brain releases all seven, apparently, bliss chemicals at once. Not one at
wow.
a time, not a shot of dopamine, then a shot of serotonin, then a shot of anandamide or whatever. No, all at once. And that's why the crowd's in ecstasy, because they're high on their own brain chemistry. And if you look at most really popular dance records, Calvin Harris, Avicii, David Guetta, they're all 128. They're all 128. The
That's
DJs know it.
amazing. That's amazing.
$128.
I'm gonna now go and see how many songs we've got that fall into that category. But
Yeah.
it is amazing, and sometimes when I'm trying to explain what we do, and I kind of say to people, can you remember a time when you've sung with others and you've felt that sense of something bigger than yourself, like we're all in it together? You know, if you've sung together at a festival or even at a sporting event, you know, and all the crowd kind of get into a chant together, it's because we are literally releasing all those happiness chemicals, and we're releasing you know, oxytocin, which is the trust hormone that makes us kind of feel connected to other people. And so we are having both like you said, like a physiological response as well as a kind of emotional response and a mental response. It works on so many different levels. It really is transformational, and we see that every day, both in the work we do in corporates and in the work we do in communities. It's
But what a
truly
fun way to
amazing.
break through that invisible barrier.
Yeah.
What
Oh, I
what
love
what
it.
what a fun way to do it. What a really, I mean, I think it's just brilliant. Um, what's your
I
best
do.
story? What's your,
Oh,
what's your what's your best story?
I have so many to choose from. I mean, like I say, in the corporates, you know, those moments when you take somebody from a suit and a tie and looking at you as if you have literally just gone completely insane, to coming out with, you know, wow, that was transformational. But I think for me, where my heart is in the community side. So as a not for profit, you know, we really strive to achieve excellence in whatever we do, and we do that for the corporates. But we reinvest all the profits from that work into work with people with long-term life-limiting health conditions. And when we get our participants going from being really isolated and doing nothing to coming to something and finding connection and community, and then even sometimes going on to perform in public arenas and doing things that they just never imagined were going to be part of their life again.
I mean, that's brilliant.
That's
I mean, I'm not asking you in
amazing.
any way to make outrageous claims here, not for 1 minute, but let me just be absolutely clear about that. But do you think that people with life-limiting diseases could be nudged in the direction of potential healing by your work? I'm not saying it's like, oh, wow, it's a miracle. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
certainly saying
absolutely. I
claim, but
mean,
I think so.
we're trained to work with people with respiratory conditions, and we, through singing practice and breath practice, we retrain people's breathing patterns. And we know we've got evidence to show that we've reduced dependency on inhalers, that we've improved people's lung
Yeah.
function readings. People tell us that they've been able to engage in life more. We got amazing results for our work with people with long COVID, where, you know, we had those results published in a peer-reviewed journal. We saw a 33% reduction in GP appointments for the work that we did with people with long COVID. Um, and people do use words like life-changing or life-saving, you know, and the comments that we get every day on the group chats, the things that people tell us, that that is the bit. I love the work I do in corporates because it is transformational, but the long-term work that we do in communities, where we support people for a long period of time, people are welcome to stay with us, and often do stay with us until sadly they're no longer able to. Either they've become too ill or they're no longer with us. That is the bit that just fills my heart and soul, because it's just incredible. It really
The
is. And
arts
that,
can be the arts can be very healing, can't they? I mean,
absolutely.
I know many comedians that have maybe been through trauma, and they it's cathartic for them to do it on stage, and they can be very funny as well. There's a wonderful guy that has PTSD, and
Yeah.
he has a care dog. And he comes on stage doing comedy with his dog, and the dog gets more attention than he does, which always makes us mad.
Amazing.
But he's just taken a show to Edinburgh. But I've interviewed him a couple of times on this show, and the transformation. You know, when you can just look at
Yeah.
someone and go, "Wow, what happened to you?" But in a good way. It's like 10 years
Yeah.
have come.
Absolutely.
He's now doing a month in Edinburgh, for goodness sake. Um, they did an experiment, didn't they, a while ago? Do you know about this one? They got a bunch of octogenarians and they recreated what life would have been like in their formative years. So it was a completely immersive experience, Emma. And it was they took the music of the day and the old Pathé newsreels, you know, the black and white newsreels that we see of the day, and the newspapers of the day, and talked about issues of the day. And do you know their biological ages went down and their pain levels went down
That's amazing.
and their mental health and well-being improved?
That's incredible. I
Yeah.
mean, I think the research is
So
only
I have
really,
no difficulty
yeah,
believing what you're telling me,
yeah.
none whatsoever.
And I think the research is only just starting to catch up with all this. You know, I think those of us that are in the creative world, we've known this for years, you know, and we see it every day. And I think the wider belief in its potential and the research that evidences it is just kind of catching up. And
Well,
it's fascinating.
I'm glad we're in a place where it can be researched and measured now. I
Yeah.
think before I had a perception of being a bit new age, a bit airy fairy,
Yeah.
a bit soft skills, as they'd have said in the corporate world.
Yeah.
But then I think since the 90s, when Daniel Goleman wrote the book on emotional intelligence, do you remember that one? And
Yeah.
it started to be
Yeah.
taken a bit more seriously. Now we can measure what happens if you practice mindfulness, for example.
Yeah.
And when Oxford University got into that, it's like, oh, maybe these aren't so airy fairy and soft skills after
Yeah.
all. In fact, maybe they're absolutely foundational.
Absolutely. And I heard some research recently because
Go on.
we work with people living with Parkinson's, and you know, we do a lot of work to kind of strengthen the neck muscles and strengthen the vocal folds, which obviously get impacted by Parkinson's.
For
But I
sure.
heard an amazing bit of research where they'd identified the fact that the instability in walking for people living with Parkinson's actually comes from the timing bit of the brain. And that they'd tested that if they played music to people living with Parkinson's that was at a regular tempo, that was around the same tempo that they used to walk in, that actually the brain could hitch itself to the timing of the music and increase their stability while walking. I mean, it's the power and potential of music and rhythm and other creativity is, I think, is just, you know, we're just beginning to untap it, I think.
I have believed for a long time, without really having the vocabulary for it, that it's one of the greatest healing forces that we've got.
Yeah,
You know, definitely.
I agree.
And now I suppose science is catching up with what people have known for years, and now it's giving us I suppose, a way of explaining it that appeals to our logical and,
Yeah.
if I may say, cynical Western minds.
And
Yeah,
I think one of the most amazing things, and one of the things that we keep trying to get across to people, is that healing and that transformation can come whatever you or anybody else thinks about your voice. Like, you do not have to be an Adele to get the healing properties. Like, you just
no,
have to sing and share your authentic voice. And that in itself, as you say, for people that have been told they can't do that or have been, you know, scared of doing that extra kind of change of mindset that comes with giving that a go, and that being accepted, and feeling that whatever your authentic voice is, you can contribute to the creation of something beautiful and much bigger than the sum of its parts. That in itself is transformational on so many levels. You know, I've had people literally run across a room when I've done a big energizer at a conference, and I've told the story about, you know, a lot of people get their voices shut down and don't, you know, get told that they can't sing when they're like 3 or 4, and that shuts down their voices forever. And I've had people run across the room and say, that was me. And like, you've just freed my voice. And like, I can't tell you what that means to me. You know, things like that really have a lifelong effect on people, and being able to allow people to free their authentic voice and know that that matters and feel all those amazing benefits that we get from singing, whatever they've been told, is again, just absolutely mind-blowing. It's amazing.
you're clearly in the right business. To talk about someone that's clearly doing what they were put on earth to do, sharedharmonies.co.uk, if people would like to learn more, yeah?
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been really lovely talking to you. A quick
Oh,
comment from Philip Harling here, one of our regular listeners. He says, Emma, at primary school when I was 10 years old, the school was rehearsing carols for a church performance. I loved it. Their master came close to me, I was in full voice, and whispered to me, when we're in church, I would just mime. The headmaster? Wow, there we go.
and
But you see, I
it
remember school
happens.
assemblies,
Yeah,
and everyone, there'd be like 200 kids, they all going, because they couldn't really be
yeah,
bothered to sing, apart from the choir who were at the front that would be doing all the descant and all this sort of thing.
yeah,
But that's the thing, because back then, and it was a mainly boys' school, but only just started having girls. And if you're in choir, and this is things that can shut you down, you might be
yeah,
seen as a bit of a sissy. You know, you
yeah,
should be on the sports field, not singing. You know, you should be
absolutely.
doing academics, not the arts. You
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. And Philip, I would say sing all the time, sing in the shower, sing in the car, have a kitchen disco, sing along to your favorite songs. Honestly, it is, as you were saying, it is so healing. It's so cathartic. It's so releasing. It's
Do
just
you know
amazing.
a Kerry Walton?
I do.
I just love. She just said you should free your authentic voice, says Kerry.
Amazing. Absolutely, Kerry, every
There's
time.
obviously a lot of people that really love what you do, and I can understand why. Keep doing it, and congratulations. And what I'll do later, if I may, Emma, I'll send you the footage of this. So if you want to use it for any shameless marketing purposes, please do.
I would love to. And thank you so much for inviting me on. It's been such a wonderful and interesting conversation. Thank you.
Hasn't it? We covered a lot of ground in 25 minutes, didn't we? All the
We
best, Emma.
did.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you so much. Take
Bye.
care.
Bye for now. Bye for now. Let's get our next guest on. Hello, Vicky Wilson. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Right, the first thing I'm going to do is put your website online. www. I can't see it. It's too small there. Read it out for me, would you?
www.vicky with an I adminfairy.co.uk.
Vicky Admin Fairy.
Yeah.
I could do with an admin fairy.
Everyone needs the admin fairy.
I hate admin, Vicky. We've all got
That's why I'm
skills in
here.
life. I'm quite good at doing this. I'm really good at chatting to people. I'm quite good at thinking about two things at once and putting things on the screen at the same time I'm talking to you. But when it comes to paperwork, if you could see the pile of paperwork that I can see.
I have many clients like that, and they call me brilliant.
Right.
They say,
Tell
how
us
can you
tell
get
us
rid of all
about
that?
tell us all about what you do, Vicky. Welcome to the Midday Show. What
Yeah,
brings you here?
I'm Vicky Admin Fairy. I've been running my business now for 5 years, and I basically want to say to people, just because you're disabled doesn't mean you can't do anything. I've achieved so much in my 50 years of life. I never imagined it.
What disability do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
I have cerebral palsy,
Wow.
and that affects me physically. So I'm a wheelchair user. I can walk a tiny bit, but not much on my frame.
Yeah, yeah.
But luckily, it didn't affect my brain. So
Yes.
I'm all right. Although some people say I'm not.
Well, we take no notice of them.
and
Yeah.
but my parents treated me like a normal, able-bodied child. Went to mainstream schooling, college, university,
Which is
and
a good
then
thing.
went.
It's a good thing if you can, isn't it? Because you don't want to be if it's just a physical. I say just if it's a physical disability, but not a mental one. You don't want to be talked down to like you're
No
somehow
way.
a bit thick, which is not remotely true. If you know, there's nothing wrong with your mind.
Yeah. Because my mum and dad saw that in me from an early age. Because I was reading, writing my numbers, doing everything, hitting my targets. And when it came to getting me in school, they were told, oh, we need to get him in special school. And mum and dad both went, no way, that's
Your
not
mum and dad
happening.
sound very wise.
So then they had a word with the headmistress in the local school. She said, yeah, I'll take her on. So she took me on, and I went from there.
I think that's wonderful. I think it's great that you wanted to do that. What challenges did you face as a person with a disability in the world of work, shall we say?
The world of work, it gave me a realization that I got to fit in. I've got to admit my effort to do things the normal way. Because I went into work and they said to me, what do you need? Well, I thought, nobody'd ever asked me that. So I said, well, a higher raised desk, a mouse with a roller ball. But other than that, a printer at a lower height, so I can get it. That's all you need. I went, yeah. I said, yeah. Anything else, if I need it as I'm going along, I'll let you know.
See,
So,
that's the thing. When I meet wonderful folks like you, we have a guest presenter on this show sometimes, and she is it's a different disability. She's very neurodiverse, but she doesn't. But I think what the difference that makes the difference, I think, is that, and you're very similar in this, is that you don't have a victim attitude.
never.
No. And like you, she has achieved an awful lot. Most recently, doing a public performance of her own podcast at a local theatre around here, and it really does make a difference, doesn't it?
It
really
does.
make a
And
difference.
people have seen that in me, because then a few years, I've been in the HMRC for 20 years. And then, luckily in 2020, they made me redundant. I can't coming up.
Right.
Best thing they ever did for me.
So this is when Admin Fairy started, was it?
Yeah. But then before I left, about 6 years into it, another lad came from another office. And he was in a wheelchair. But he had spinal bifida and other things wrong. And he came in there with the attitude, I want this, I want that, I need this. And my friends around me said, we need a coffee. So off I got the kitchen with them for nothing. And they say, we've just realised something. What? We've never treated you disabled. We've never looked at you as Vicky in a wheelchair. You're just Vicky. And yet this man, we look at him and we see the wheelchair first. I said, my job is done.
It just shows that our attitude is powerful, isn't it? And I think anyone watching this, I'm certainly learning from this, because there's times, situations in life I think, oh, I'm a victim to this, and a conversation like this, it just puts it all in perspective. And I think, my goodness me, you know, if this lady with a disability can do that, what am I complaining about? You know.
So then they made me redundant.
Yeah.
And I could have just taken the money and thought, that's me done. I'm in my late 40s. End of it now. I can just sit there, watch daytime TV, get me benefits, there you go.
I can't see you watching daytime TV. I think that would drive you mad. Plus daytime TV is crap. But
Exactly. And it's not me.
No.
I've always got
So
to
you
be
started
doing something.
Admin Fairy when HMRC made you redundant, yeah?
Yeah.
And tell us exactly what you do. Is it like it says on the tin? You just tell me, sell your business to me. What do you do?
I'm basically a virtual assistant for small businesses, self-employed, who are getting overloaded with the admin. Emails are getting forgotten, invoices are not getting paid, they're getting nothing and my money going out.
Yeah.
So I'm here just to take on all the things that you hate doing. And
You sound like the woman of my dreams at the moment, honestly.
Oh yeah. We have to have another chat and see if I can help you.
Maybe because I'm crap at admin. It's just that I don't like do you enjoy doing it?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I know there's people out there who enjoy doing things I don't. I mean, there's people out there that like being accountants. Every respect to them, they're great people, but how could you possibly like that? You know, there's people out there that like Morris dancing. I don't understand that either. And I can't understand how anyone would like admin, but it's a big old world.
I think being in the HMRC for 29 years, I enjoy doing the mundane, getting in my flow, doing work. So structure. If a business person had lost the structure with their admin, I can bring the structure back.
Well, I mean,
and
I
get rid
suppose
of
the
all
time in
that.
HMRC would have served you. We can look back on life, can't we? I think actually that experience served me very well, even though I
Yeah.
didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think very very much for you. Now we've got a comment here from one of our lovely listeners, Kimmy Lashmar. She says,
Right.
"I had a friend with cerebral palsy. We went on a couple of holidays, just the two of us. She's a cheeky sense of humour and great to be with. I find people just don't have patience.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we are all a bit.
And I say to people, give me quarter of an hour, half an hour in your presence, and your ideas of disability are going to be ruined. I will diminish them.
We've had two really inspiring guests on the show today. It's been really lovely to meet you. Now, if people would like to learn more about what you do, it's Vicky with an I, adminfairy.co.uk.
Yeah.
Is that right?
And also I'm writing my memoir
Are you?
of my whole life story.
Oh, brilliant.
So that's coming out in November.
I tell you what, do me a favour. It's going to be released in November, is it?
Yeah.
Right. Do me a favour. We've talked on the
Yeah.
instant messenger, haven't we? In November, a couple of weeks before, message me, and we'll get you back on, and we'll do like a little mini book launch on live on the
Oh,
Midday
brilliant.
Show.
That'd be
Would you
really
like-
good.
Would you
I
like to do
love
that?
that.
Because I love a good
Yeah.
memoir, and
Yeah.
I think if I may, if I don't sound like a patronising fool, you're really inspiring. And I
That's
think
brilliant. That's what I
there's an
want.
awful lot of people that I know that really don't have your
Yeah.
attitude, and they've got a lot, and they don't have disabilities.
Yeah,
Their
and
only
that's why.
their only disability is I hate to say it, their attitude.
Exactly. And that's why I've written the book.
Yeah.
Because I was getting really fed up about how disabled people are being portrayed in the media, everywhere. Because I thought that's not how it should be.
No.
It's how you look at how you portray yourself.
Yes. And how would anyone know if they haven't walked a mile in your shoes anyway? If they haven't.
Exactly, because people don't know how little I can do physically. Because looking at me now and hearing me talk, you wouldn't know. So the book is hopefully going to turn around ideas that people have, and then also people who are parents of young children who have just been diagnosed disabled. They can read the book and think it's not the end. If
Well,
this
no,
is
that
who
would
we
be
are,
so. That would be so.
that's how I
valuable
need.
because, yeah, that's the book that everyone needed when they were young, and they were told maybe that they wouldn't amount to anything, or because of this or
Yeah.
because of that. But you hear so many stories that people have overcome their limitations. I mean, Einstein was told he was thick at school, for goodness sake.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Elvis Presley was told he was talentless and should go back to driving a truck. The Beatles were told guitar music was dead. You know. And,
What do people know?
yeah, so, where were the people that then to tell that young Einstein, you know, that young Paul McCartney and the other Fab Three, you know, the young Elvis Presley, they weren't, and now you are, in a sense, brilliant. Thank you, Vicky. It's brilliant, really
No problem.
lovely to. Whereabouts are you based, by the way? Where are you in the country?
I'm in Shropshire.
Okay, lovely. Well, really nice talking to you, Vicky. Nice
Yeah,
to meet you.
lovely.
And what I'll do, after you.
I'll send you an email towards the end of October, and we can sort out a launch.
Yeah, absolutely. Or Facebook Messenger. I normally pick
Yeah,
up messages
well.
a lot more easily there.
Yeah.
Do that. Emails. I've got so many because my admin's really rubbish. Do you know anyone that could help? Ha!
I do,
Funny
and she's even award-winning.
Oh, is she? Oh,
Yeah.
well, she kept that quiet till the end of the interview,
Yeah.
didn't she? Brilliant.
I'm award-winning, and I've even been recognised in the House of Lords.
Oh, brilliant. It's really, really lovely, really inspiring talking to you, Vicky. And I'll send you the footage of this later.
Oh,
if you want to
fantastic.
use it. If you want to use it for any shameless marketing purposes, as seen on the
I
Midday
will
Show.
indeed. I'll send the file live.
I would milk it for all it's bloody well worth, personally. Vicky Wilson, much love. Take care.
Thank you very much.
I have to say, I think that's one of the most inspiring shows that we've done in a very, very long time. I love that. Now, I'm taking a break until the end of August now. So you won't see me on the Midday Show until September. I'm gonna spend some time in Edinburgh, being funny towards the end of the month, and just doing some other bits and bobs, bit of a staycation, and just chilling out and taking some shameless time, all from me. So Russ and the gang will be here. I'm sure Liz might be filling in on some of the shows. Liz Better Call Saul, as Russ likes to call her, but you will certainly be covered well and truly on the Midday Show. I will see you in September, though. Thank you for tuning in today, particularly to the people that we've had on the timeline, Philip and Liz and Kerry, who came along to see her friend Emma, and Alice and Dave A. Sleet. Oh, I forgot to put this comment up about our first interviewee, loving the crossover with creative empowerment, with building connective experience. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Kimmy. I shall catch you again soon. But a very good afternoon. Lots of love, and I'll see you in September. Take care.